I've only heard of three of the five Reform UK MPs. I've now heard of a fourth, and that's Robert Lowe. He's the one that's been expelled. He's the one that's had the Westminster, the Palace of Westminster authorities called on him. The police are investigating him. But what we've got here isn't something to do with bad behavior. This is a political split in reform. And basically, the split is over migrants. Not that we shouldn't bar migrants coming in. They're all agreed on that. So Nigel Farage not only wants to stop the boats, he just wants to stop migrants. But the difference is, if we take Robert Lowe, his slogan is repatriate. And he talks about repatriating not just thousands, not just tens of thousands, but hundreds of thousands. And what's interesting about Lowe, what makes it a split, isn't simply we've got one, MP who's no longer a Reform UK MP. What we've got is a split in the ranks of UK, Reform UK. And it appears that the majority of the rank and file activists definitely support the political line of Robert Lowe, as opposed to Nigel Farage, who doesn't think electors, not the activists in Reform UK, but electors would find the mass expulsion of migrants acceptable. And I can believe that. Why? Because if you take people coming in boats, that's a statistic. If you take my next door neighbor, if you take the person I buy fruit from, if you take people, who are going to your kids' school and picking them up at the end of the day, that's a different question. Expelling people who you know personally, that's much harder. And we've seen instances, certainly in London, and I'm sure there's been others. I know in Glasgow, there's been instances of it. And that's next door neighbors, friends, people coming out in solidarity with people who are being picked up by the migration authorities and stopping them being carted away. And at the moment, of course, this is at a pretty low level. But if Robert Lowe had anything to do with it, this would be mass scale. And why it matters isn't just, I say just, the reform activists who apparently will have some sort of influence over the organization, which is being transformed from being a private company into a much more conventional political party. I don't know whether it will be along the lines of the Tory party or the Lib Dems or Labour. I don't know what the model is. Either way, one other factor ought to be mentioned here, and that's Elon Musk. I'm reminded of the John Hartfield poster. With Adolf Hitler, I have millions behind me, with the hand coming down with loads of Reichsmarks. Well, that's what Elon Musk has got. He's got millions of dollars, billions of dollars, and he's talked about financing Reform UK under a different leadership. So this is an important split. This shouldn't be seen simply as a spat between, 5 or 4 Reform UK MPs and one, how should I put it, rotten or wayward apple. I know that breaks down, but you get the point. So this is something of significance.